Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Welcome to an all-new Nevada Newsmakers. As you know me, I'm a poor man, Sam Shad. My name is Mike Draper, a partner at Argentum Partners, and we're going to be discussing AI, permitting, construction, housing affordability with an AI company called Alynea, so stay tuned.
Reno is full of hard-working, caring people. We're neighbors, business owners, families who need attainable homes, good-paying jobs, and a future we can count on. What we don't need are more big political promises with bigger price tags and politicians who let the latest Washington trends guide their policies. We need no-nonsense leaders with fiscal discipline who are focused on results for Reno families. I'm Kathleen Taylor, and I'm running for mayor to do just that.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
Welcome to an all-new Nevada Newsmakers. Filling in for Sam Shad, my name is Mike Draper, and our guest today is Austin Mahfouz, who's the head of growth for a company called Alynea. We're going to be talking about the intersection of AI and permitting and construction and building and development. Austin, thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Austin, can you tell us a little bit about Alynea before we get started?
Yes, Alynea is an AI company whose entire mission is around how do we help and leverage AI tools in order to speed up the permitting and licensing process. So that has been the mission that we've been aligned in. And we've been pursuing this throughout the country and trying to solve these problems.
Austin, in Nevada especially, we're constantly hearing about housing shortages, rising costs. Affordability is obviously an issue. How does something like this start to address those issues?
Well, when it comes to construction and building, you've got the materials costs, the labor's costs, and a lot of times you can't do a lot about that. However, something that you can do is you can help speed up the process and help the government not get in the way so that we can build more, increase supply, and therefore, when you're cutting down that timeline, you're also just, time is money. So you're saving time, saving money, and you're increasing supply.
So for those that don't know, what does the permitting process currently look like, and how does Alynea start to address that?
Yes, so currently permitting process begins with applicants taking the time to fill out their permits and applications for the specific permit type that they're looking for. After that, they go ahead and submit it into to their local government, at which point it is reviewed, it's marked up, and then it is taken, and any issues or any corrections that need to be made are then given back to the applicant so that they can fix those corrections. They then resubmit their permits back in. It goes through another round of revisions, and this can continue. This can continue on for several rounds. which really that back and forth, it bogs down the system, and it causes those delays so that no one's happy with the process when you're having to deal with this.
Time is money, right?
Exactly.
So what does Alynea or how can AI start to expedite that? How are you guys expediting that?
Yeah, well, a lot of times when the first applications are being submitted in, there can be a lot of incomplete information, a lot of basic code issues, a lot of compliance issues, and that's where that back and forth just begins. So what AI is positioned to do is it can help out in the very beginning. It can help out with those initial issues, those initial reviews, so that we can even just have a completeness check that's done. Make sure all the information's there. And then once all the information's there, to make sure that you're at least hitting a bare minimum requirement of quality, so that once it's submitted into the local government, it's then at the highest quality possible, so that they're not dealing with that initial back and forth, saving both the applicant and the local government time and money.
So I've heard you mention, and I've seen it mentioned, that for those that are fearful that products like this, that AI is going to replace jobs, I think I've heard you say it's actually complementing jobs, or in this case, complementing local governments and state governments. Can you tell me a little bit about how that works?
Yeah, ultimately with these new AI systems that are coming out, you don't want to hand over the keys and give it full reign to be doing, everything under the sun. That would not only be irresponsible, it also just wouldn't work, because there are nuances within each aspect of the building and licensing departments that an AI system might not catch. And so ultimately, we see these systems as complementary to the government workers, where it can help out in some of those, initial painful back and forth, so that then the government workers can focus on the most important matters. And when they have that deep code knowledge, they can work on those review processes. And this can help out in the beginning, where you have more of those simpler but time-consuming issues that can easily be addressed by AI.
Let's delve into that a little bit further when we get back. We'll be back on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
You'll be rolling with some swag during the $150,000 Spring Bling giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Make it rain with up to $5,000 in cash every week and 20 large in cash guaranteed during the grand finale drawing. We're blinging in your good times at Tamarack Casino.
My whole life has been public service. It's about people. And when we work together instead of yelling at each other, we get things done. We don't always get everything we want, but that's our system of government. Give and take. We don't give up, we keep working, we keep pushing. And when we break ground on Nevada's first children's hospital, when crime rates come down, and when graduation rates improve, that motivates me. That's why I do it.
At Nevada Urban Indians in Reno, your health is our priority. Our medical clinic welcomes everyone. We accept all insurances, ensuring quality care is within reach. Nevada Urban Indians, your partners in health.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And we're back on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers. My name is Mike Draper. I'm filling in for Sam Shad, and we're joined by Austin Mahfouz, the head of growth for Alynea. We're talking about AI, building and construction. Austin, I'm curious, how much can delays? I just read an article, I think in the Wall Street Journal, that said that construction delays on big projects can cost up to $1.5 million a day. Are you seeing that as you guys work all over the country?
Oh, definitely. When these delays are happening and you have the carrying costs from the bank loans, you can see those start piling up month over month. It's really a major issue that's happening throughout the country, and everyone's just sitting there waiting. They're waiting for the process to start. Sometimes depending on the type of permit, it could even take longer to get the permit done than it does to even construct the building. And that's where, when you're looking at growth for the United States, we can't be having those type of issues happening.
So, what kind of time savings are we talking about here when AI companies like Alynea are being implemented into the permitting process? Are we talking about days or weeks, months?
Really depends on the local jurisdiction and the type of backlogs that they have. But this can easily be saving months of time. If you have these complex reviews that are happening, and there's a lot of back and forth that's happening between thousands and thousands of pages, you could be saving months worth of time. Now, for some of the jurisdictions that are having that are doing things fairly quick, you can still be seeing 50, 60, 70% reductions. And really, when that starts stacking up project over project, you start saving so much for that local jurisdiction. And and the businesses will be extremely appreciative as well, because they'll start seeing that growth beginning right away.
I was also just reading in that same article that some local governments are starting to use AI as a way to alleviate staffing shortages, budget shortfalls, things like that. Are you seeing that in the work that you're doing?
Definitely. So one common theme that we're seeing throughout the country is staffing shortages that are currently happening. And if they're not there right now, they're worried about it in the upcoming future within the next, 2, 3, 5 years. Because there's a wave of tribal knowledge that has been, secured from the amazing, local government and government workers that have been here and dedicated to their jurisdictions. But recruitment is very difficult. There's a lot of competition on the private sector, and whether they're short-staffed right now or in the near future, it's on the top of everyone's mind.
Now, we know government at times can be slow, and certainly government tech adoption has been slow. What have you seen as the biggest hurdle in getting agencies and governments to use something like this?
What we've seen so far is really just these agencies and local governments getting comfortable with it. There is a lot of worry around AI. Some of the news that is and some of the headlines that's out there can really have this doomer type of mentality. And so we see a lot of local governments and agencies. They're wanting to be a little cautious as they start to dip their toes into AI, and that's where a solution like what Alynea has, it fits in perfectly. So we offer a solution where you can really just get started. You have measurable outcomes, and it's not taking over any major systems or making any decisions.
How do you address the concerns about transparency or errors when AI is involved? Is that where I know you've stressed in the past, there's still human oversight and ultimately, humans have review, but certainly there's a lot of concern about errors or transparency when it comes to AI being involved in something like permitting.
Definitely. So there has been the 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 term is called hallucinations with the AI systems, and those have been greatly reduced as systems have been updated over the current years with what's available right now. And so when it comes to accuracy with human review, what we're seeing is even humans, they make mistakes. So with humans, we're seeing around 80 to 85% accuracy, but with our systems, when they first get trained, they're already at 98% accuracy. And that moves up into 99%, and it approaches 100 as more and more training happens. So with that level of accuracy, we're seeing it's completely worth it To have this be an initial review, and like you said, it's not going to make the final sign off. It still requires a human to go review everything, go through all of the pages, all of the documents, and give that final sign off. So, but if you're starting with 99% accuracy, then you're having a human reviewer who isn't, nearly as exhausted from all of the back and forth that's been going on. You're saving yourself a lot right there, and accuracy isn't so much of a worry at that point.
So then tell me, if I'm a builder or a developer in Nevada, how would my experience actually change with companies or technology like what Alynea is trying to implement?
Yeah, definitely. So what we see here is when a builder is submitting in their permits, they're having to wait days, weeks, or potentially months in order for that first round of revisions and reviews to come back and hit their desk. Whereas with the systems that we've built and the AI systems that are out there that are really addressing these problems in a smart way, they're able to go and get that feedback nearly instantaneously. So you're talking, those days, weeks, or possibly months before getting those first round of revisions. You're getting them within a matter of minutes.
This is a great conversation. We'll be back to dive into it a little bit more. We'll be back on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
2025 is bringing big changes for Nevada businesses. If you have more than 5 employees and have been operating for 3 years or more, you must now comply with new state retirement plan mandates. The Vegas Chamber 401k plan makes it easy, offering a proven, customizable, and cost-effective plan for employers and employees to save with tax advantages. Visit vegaschamber.com to explore options and see how the Vegas Chamber can help you start saving for your future.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. Our community is our foundation. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
Carson Valley Inn, it's your place for the good times. Carson Valley Inn.
We're the Peters family, 2 combat veterans, our daughter Elle, and our Liberty Dogs puppy in training, Cooper.
Cooper will grow up to be a life-changing companion to a veteran with visible or invisible challenges.
We're helping Cooper build focus and confidence so he's ready to support his veteran.
And we know he will help bring happiness and independence to his veteran's life.
So join us, become a puppy raiser, and change lives, one puppy at a time.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And we're back on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers. Filling in for Sam Shad, I'm Mike Draper. We're talking today with Austin Mahfouz, who's a head of growth for Alynea, an AI company that's designed to speed up permitting, applications, and licensing. Austin, if states like Nevada don't modernize their permitting process, what is the long-term consequence?
Well, you're going to have less economic development, which ultimately means you're going to have less progress as a state. Where you find there is the least amount of friction for businesses to get started and to do business, that's where the entrepreneurs, the builders, that's where they go. So if you're not implementing these systems and other states are, people are going to be drawn to those other states. And so that means more business, more tax revenue, and overall just more growth and prosperity for the states that are able to attract the entrepreneurs and builders that really help drive growth for the country and for the individual states themselves.
Are you seeing, I know you work all over the country, are you seeing other states quickly starting to adopt technology and modernize their processes?
I wouldn't say it's happening quickly. It's happening at a measured pace where the states are going and they're at a point where they know that this is the next wave of what's happening, and so everyone's evaluating it right now because they realize if they're not evaluating it and they're not making decisions here soon, their constituents are going to be wondering, why are things taking so long when we have these tools available to us right now. So I really see the second half of this year, things are about to start accelerating a lot quicker because these tools are now available and they're now being used and the test case are out there. And so I think adoption is really going to start picking up here.
We talked in the second segment about what it might look like for a builder or developer in Nevada when these processes are modernized, or how if AI is adopted into some of the permitting process. Does that favor large developers? Is it something that levels the playing field between larger developers and small business, smaller builders, things like that?
Yeah, I would say it leans towards leveling the playing field because large developers are able to, oftentimes they have the resources where they can pay the teams to make these applications and these permits nearly perfect from the very beginning. And having tools like this available to smaller local developers, it really helps level the playing field. However, for the large developers as well, even with those larger teams and the resources available, there's still issues and back and forth that happens with the local government. So having these type of tools available where it is instantaneously giving you that detailed feedback of, how does this stack up against the code and the regulations needed for this specific permit type, it's going to help them out as well. So it's not just a leveling tool. It's also it's really it's an amazing opportunity for developers across the board.
Do faster permits really actually translate into more affordability, especially when it comes to housing?
Well, when you can increase the supply faster, you're going to increase supply and bring down prices. So really, you are going to see that. And I think Austin, Texas, is somewhere that I've seen where it's been a good test case for the country, where they have been able to increase supply. They've gotten out of the way. The government has gotten out of the way, allowing builders to build, and you've seen a drastic decrease in costs there.
Now, I've heard you talk about AI, not just in the permitting space for building and development, but I know that you've mentioned, and I've read that other states are looking at using it just in their overall licenses and applications. Have you seen that?
Exactly, you're spot on. So with building permits and construction, that's been a hot button for the entire country because of the affordability crisis. However, these AI tools that can handle these different types of applications, it really can handle the full stack that whether it's business licenses or any other type of simple or complex application type, that is these systems are really well designed for that. And when you look at more of the general purpose chatbots, that's not the type of AI that we're talking about. We're talking about specific tools that can help out with specific measurable outcomes, and really it's perfectly set up for applications. Whether it's a permit, a license, or any other type of special application, it's perfect for those type of use cases.
Now, I know you travel all over talking with local governments and state governments about how we can speed up the processes and implement AI and new technology. In your experience, are we over-regulating development, or are we just using antiquated regulations?
I think it's a bit of both. You're going to have, depending on the jurisdiction, you're going to have some regulations in there that could be 50, 60 years old, and they need to be updated. On top of that, depending on the jurisdiction, you can just see too many regulations in general. Some that are contradicting contradicting over each other. And it really just puts the developers and the local businesses in a tough spot because they speed and time to market is everything. And so if you can start getting cash flow and revenue as a business started as soon as possible, that also means more tax dollars for your local government.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. We got about 30 seconds left. Are we close to seeing Alynea or other products like Alynea being used in Nevada?
100%. We're working with different local leadership in Nevada, and we'd like to continue expanding that out, throughout the state because Nevada is an amazing state that is very pro-business, and we want to help support that growth.
Well, I very much appreciate your time. Looking forward to having you back on the show to talk about how that's been implemented and hopefully to see the successful result of that. So thank you.
Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate it.
And we'll be back on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
It happens. And when it does, there's UMC Quick Care.
Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Welcome to the Ahern Hotel, where bold ambition meets unforgettable experiences. Feel your game day vibes and celebrate with great food at All-American Sports Kitchen, serving amazing flavors and fan favorites. Sip and savor at Aroma Barista Bar. Handcrafted coffee roasted to perfection. Step into the Ahern Live showroom, where concerts, comedy, and unforgettable performances light up the night. We also have the David Yule Art Gallery. It's the only one in the world, and his work is breathtaking. Browse the gift shop. It's a treasure trove of keepsakes, chic essentials, and one-of-a-kind finds. And the space. Almost 30,000 square feet of meetings and events areas ready for you. From weddings and birthdays to quinceañeras, trade shows, banquets, and beauty pageants. Bigger ideas? Let the Ahern team handle all the details so your event is flawless. Ahern Hotel, where moments become memories. Book your next gathering today.
Thank you for joining us today for this all-new Nevada Newsmakers. Make sure to go to nevadanewsmakers.com to catch this episode and any of our past episodes, and we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.